It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. All right, here's the latest polling. You ready?
I'm ready.
For the second straight year, about 1 in 5 Americans say they would like to leave the U.S. and move permanently to another country if they could. This heightened desire to migrate is driven primarily by younger women. In 2025, listen to this, Eric. Listen to the percentage. In 2025, 40% of women aged 15 to 44, I can guarantee the vast majority, wacko left, say they would want to move abroad permanently if they had the opportunity. The current figure is about 4 times higher than the 10% who shared this desire in 2014.
You know how you move abroad? You put her on a plane.
Why are you talking about dames now?
Dames and broads. I love these meaningless little looks at how people think. I want to leave my country. By the way, the demographic starts at 15. I mean, I know it's a research demographic, but I wonder how many 15-year-olds they actually talk to. Hey, would you like to leave the country? Yeah, can my parents go?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You know. Can my boyfriend go? Because it's they're always intriguing. They're always interesting to look at. And by meaningless, I mean these empty, I don't know if you even call it a threat, but it's always, I would like to move somewhere. You should go live there and then report back.
The sharp rise in younger women wanting to leave the U.S. has created a large gender gap between them and their male counterparts. Today's 21 percentage point gap between younger males, 19%, and women, 40%, wanting to leave the United States is the widest Gallup has ever recorded on this trend. It's all the brainwashing.
Well, yeah,
it's all the brainwashing in the schools. That's what it is.
And again, how many of them actually mean it?
By the way, this is their desire to migrate.
Right.
So the findings reflect aspirations rather than intentions.
Well, that's it. Let's look at how many people are actually leaving because of the shared sentiment. That's what I'd like to see. Rosie O'Donnell. There's one. Actually, she's outside the 44 age group, I think. Yeah. So, yeah. She wouldn't be in this category.
I don't know any women. They may want a vacation, but I don't know any women that want to leave. I mean, in that demographic.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
No.
Now, when you get down to younger age, the dreams. Oh, I'd love to live here, or I'd love to live there.
Oh, that's been around forever.
Exactly.
I would like to go to Greece, and I would like to go to Italy. I would like to travel to. For me, I'd like to see the parts of the U.S. first that I haven't seen. Travel, I think there's a lot of beautiful areas that I haven't seen. My wife's traveled more than I have, usually for business, but that's always been, and you hear that quite often. One day I would love to go and spend the summer in France. my daughter, my oldest daughter, went to Europe for her senior trip. My gosh, this goes back to 2000, the year 2000. And she said it was, because they basically had to go, they went France and Italy, and you could only spend a little bit of time in each place. But she said, no, I'm so glad I live here. I don't think I'd ever like living there. She goes, maybe it would be different if I were the adult and had more time to spend there in terms of a vacation. But I would not want to live there. She had a handmade sword made for me. This is so pre-9/11, and carried it back on the plane. But I remember how disappointed she sounded when she got home. And that's the point, is that, and again, she qualified it saying, oh, we didn't spend much time in each place, but it didn't look great. But you see this in today's political arena, in today's political environment, rather. Well, I want to leave the country. Well, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go where it's better? There's some beautiful nations that aren't the United States, but there are no better countries on the planet, in my opinion.
No.
But you're free to travel as long as you tell those other countries about it. They have standards, too. You have to meet those standards. But I don't.
And they say in the poll, politics is a huge thing to play in it, because
yeah.
it all first started. The increase started after Obama left office and who went into office.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's Trump. It's the
right.
Trump era.
Yeah, it's just
it's
so it means nothing except we don't like who's in charge.
Well, and also this self-loathing. I'm not proud to be an American because he's president. I was proud to be an American during the entire 8 years of Obama's presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Had nothing to do with him being president. I'm proud to be an American, and I don't care who the president is. Lee Greenwood, our friend, when he wrote that song, he didn't qualify it in the lyrics. As long as somebody's that I like is in office. No, I'm proud of this nation. I love this country. It's my country. I wouldn't want to leave. I was in a small village in Mexico one time on vacation, talking to a couple of locals, and the guy that we talked to, a local fisherman, older guy, he goes, there's kind of a myth that goes around the American culture that we all want to, from Mexico, all want to live in the U.S. He says, we love our country. Of course, he lived in a beautiful village on the water and was a fisherman and, had a great, great life. But he said, while we don't have the things you have in the United States, we love our country. And, there's plenty of problems, but our people go there for the most part only for opportunity, but they send all the money back here, which of course everybody knows. And I look at it from a very simple point, that this is my country. I love where I live. I love the state I live in. I was raised here. I've been here since I was 4 years old. And I don't have any in the state. And I don't have any desire, would never have any desire to leave, regardless of how bad things got, even if it wasn't about the president. You know what I mean? If it gets down to, just crazy radical liberals taking over blue cities, Now, I may move a little further away from a blue city to get out of the craziness because I don't want to be within that jurisdiction.
Hey, maybe Trump can come up with a new H-1B visa program where people who wish to come to the United States, we will allow one in for every Democrat who wishes to leave.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a good idea.
The radical student exchange program.
You know, Gorsuch, the Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch was on Fox News, and he's writing a book, a children's book on the the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. And he said, the young people don't even, they don't even know. We got to teach civics. They don't even know how the government runs. They don't know. You and I've talked about it before. All these people on the left screaming fascism and the Electoral College, and they don't even understand why the government is set up the way that it is. And that's the problem. You're talking with people that are completely ignorant. They don't have any idea. All they see is no kings, no kings. This guy thinks he's a king, and they buy into the rhetoric where they don't clearly understand. It's like the whole thing with, Trump's going to, serve a third term, and we laugh at it, and these leftists are going crazy. He really It doesn't matter whether he wants one. You don't even know how the damn system works. You're protesting your country, and you don't even know how it works, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Right.
And so when you see this, and when you were talking there, I was just thinking, all I ever wanted to do, because my father explained to me the difference between the Soviet Union, China, and the United States. The form of government at the kitchen table. It wasn't, we learned it in school, but I knew it from my father. He explained the three branches of government. Mm-hmm. And once you learn that, once you went, oh, there's the constant push and pull, and you don't concentrate power in one area. They do. Well, I don't want Marxism. Once you understand, Democrats scream about monopolies in the private sector, yet they're all for monopolies of a huge federal government that is not is never as responsive to the people as companies have to be.
Right.
Otherwise, they go out of business.
Right.
There's no critical thinking. Well, I guess it's tough to have any type of critical thinking if all of your opinions are based on emotion, which is based on your ignorance. And so you form your opinions based on a meme or a slogan.
Yeah.
That's the real problem.
Yeah.
All I ever wanted to do was, I never thought about, I grew up in Buffalo. I never thought about moving anywhere. I moved because the opportunity came there. But I always wanted to be in the United States. I had no interest ever in going anywhere. I grew up on the border of Canada. I know where the weaknesses in Canada are. Mm-hmm. I grew up there. I've got, my grandfather immigrated from there. I've got relatives that still live there. I know, and it's, pretty obvious what the weaknesses are when it comes to freedom of speech in Canada. I've known that since I was young. Mm-hmm. The lack of freedom of speech in Canada compared to the United States. The Bill of Rights that we have here, you've got a ton of Western countries that don't have it. And that's one of the reasons I've always felt so secure, because when you get down to the basis of the Constitution, it's very tough to change, what is in there. So all I ever wanted was opportunity. I never thought.
Yeah, right.
I always thought about traveling, but once I go to someplace to see the sights, once I'm there one day, I'm done.
Well,
I'm not somebody who wants to. I don't go to the beach and sit at the beach for a week. Mm-hmm. I go to the beach. I'd be bored after, and plus I'd be kicked. They'd kick me off for blinding,
Yeah.
all the other people. on
Well,
the beach.
it's like our family vacation every year. We take our grandkids down to the beach, and the entire point is to get everybody under one roof for a week.
That's a great idea.
We don't even do that at Christmas time. And so, like, if I go on vacation, the point is the activity, not necessarily to see the sights. So if you go, if you want to go to Europe and people have different interests, I don't have any interest in just seeing the sights. There's got to be another purpose for me to be there.
I think a lot of it's whining, because what we find out is when people want to move, no matter what their financial situation, they migrate.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
We've experienced here in the United
Yeah,
States.
they
so
run.
I look at that as just another case of liberal whining. Well, they don't intend to do it. They just, wish they could. Stop whining.
Yep.
It's like when people say, I'm going to leave the country. I'm not leaving the country. You're not going to kick me out. Nobody's going to kick me out, and I'm definitely not going to leave.
No, I'm not going in.
And I don't care how bad it goes. I was born here. I'm dying here. Unless I'm on vacation somewhere because, I don't know, a bunch of young women say, come visit us somewhere.
Yeah, so you'll die here in the States.
I'll die here in the States, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was as ridiculous as all these people, I want to move.
Yeah. Well, it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
In both cases.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Brought to you by FPPF, Fuel Power Max.
Leased owner-operators should be aware of 4 common revenue myths. Myth 1, concentrate on increasing revenue because costs will take care of themselves. Myth 2, more revenue per mile is the answer to all problems. Revenue per mile really doesn't change much from company to company. Myth 3, all you have to do to be successful is run a lot of miles. In reality, revenue is only half of the profit equation. Myth 4, you can tell how well you're doing by the size of your settlement check. The settlement check is only a part of the success picture. Miles driven, loads hauled, conditions, mechanical problems, time off, and especially costs all have to be considered. Owner-Operator Business 101 is provided by Overdrive's Partners in Business program. Go to overdriveonline.com to the Partners in Business section of the website for more details on this and many other topics. Brought to you by Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
Lines open for your calls. 866-90-RED-EYE on Red Eye Radio.
We are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Here it is. Seattle's new socialist mayor, Katie Wilson, vows to Trump-proof the city, plans to enact high taxes, free child care. During a press conference, she vowed to implement certain policies such as universal child care, rent control, and social housing, as well as stating her desire to have more land and wealth be owned by steward communities instead of corporations. As a progressive and a socialist, I believe in good governance. I think they should do this.
No. I think they should move as quickly as possible on all of the above.
I think they should raise taxes immediately.
Well,
I think raise taxes. We're going to hear it from Seattle.
Well,
I think
you
from
have
our
to.
conservative friends.
Yeah.
I think you need to raise taxes 50% in Seattle.
That's right.
75%.
That's
Same
right.
in New York City. Raise those taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Free daycare is going to cost some money.
Right. Well, you voted them in. Now do what is needed to be done.
Tell your friends. We're here nightly. Eric Harley and Gary McNamara on Red Eye Radio.
And he is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Download our Red Eye Radio app. And you can listen when you choose. All right. So I think the most important, with everything going on, with Mamdani, and then you've got the socialist mayor, now I forgot her name, was it Katie Wilson, in Seattle. This is the only thing that matters. You can sit there and promote everything that you want, but you have to be able to raise taxes. You've got to be able to raise taxes. We've talked about this for years, of the failure of government health care in California, Illinois, and Vermont, all based on the fact that even the most liberal places don't want to pay for what they want. This is a type of, we talk about, I want to leave the country where it's better. Well, you have the opportunity to make it better in these particular states.
Right.
You can get this beautiful socialist nirvana. You just got to pay for it. Well, we don't want to pay for it.
Free daycare.
Yeah. We want all the free stuff, the free stuff, the free stuff. And this, to me, might be, with everything going on, because we understand that New York City and Seattle is not the entire country, but economics works the exact same. Economics does not work any different in California than it does Texas or Florida or Tennessee, whatever. It all works the same way. And you got to be able to pay for it. And that's why they want to do it on the federal level, because they know they don't have to pay for it on the federal level. They can borrow the money or print the money. Can't do that in the states. But this is, to me, might be the audio cut of the year. And it's Kathy Hochul. Here we go.
No, I would say one energetic rally does not get me to change my positions, I assure you. But I do hear people's voices. I process what everybody says, but I'm also have to balance governing this state and making sure that those people who are actually the reason we have a generous, supportive budget that helps lift people up, it's their revenues that we tax. 1.5% of New Yorkers cover about a third of our budget. That's enormous. I'm concerned about outmigration of people who are the ones who are supporting our budget. I cannot make up for that with middle class tax increases. I cannot do that to the middle class and the struggling New Yorkers.
Can you do that without raising taxes?
I think you can do that, and I think you have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year, and you do that by raising taxes by them 2%.
He can't do that on his own. You've previously said that you wouldn't be raising taxes. Have you reconsidered that stance?
No, I would say one energetic rally does not get me to change my position.
Well, just a little compilation, but seriously, that's it right there, because talk about all the stuff you want about socialism and how it cares and all that other crap. What it comes down to is somebody's got to pay the damn bill. That's the reality of it.
Well, and I want to see this a community-owned property. Back in the Cold War, we call those communes. But they're talking about in Seattle with a new mayor, because what happens when people don't pay their way? Oh, evictions are going to look really bad. Now, we talked about how the party itself, the National Party, is really doesn't want this to happen on the local level, because it will fail. And Mamdani, of course, wants to knock on the door of, at Albany and get state lawmakers involved to help him raise taxes. I don't know if the mayor of Seattle is going to do that in Washington State or not. If there's any effort there, but they're not going to be able to fund it locally. It just isn't going to work. They can implement the tax. You can implement a city gas tax of $3 a gallon, $50 a gallon, whatever you want to do. There's a way to pay for it. People have to be willing to pay for it. And that's the difference. I think the party is looking at this going, it's going to fail miserably, because we can't do this on the national scale. And even though we agree with how they feel, we agree with these socialist ideas, you can't implement them locally for a reason. And this is going to make us look bad. And I think the party is nervous about that.
Well, I think because this is the problem with liberals. They claim they want something, but they really don't. If you truly, Seattle, if you truly want socialism, pay for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tax the rich. Do it. New York City, tax the rich. Legislature in New York, skyrocket the corporate taxes to pay for New York City. Go do it. You control it. You can do it. Do it.
Look,
or otherwise,
give your pay.
Or otherwise, shut up and stop whining.
Give your pay to the government, and they'll give you what you need. That's how communism works. You should be willing to do that.
But I want what I want
for the
not what I
greater
need.
good of the people.
Right.
That's how it works.
But now that you've elected socialist mayors, socialist Marxists in Seattle and New York, then do it.
I love it.
Raise the taxes, skyrocket the taxes to pay for it. Remember, and you've got to raise it a lot because, as we all know, Mamdani's not going to raise the $9 billion because you always raise less. So you've actually got to skyrocket it more because when you raise taxes, people their behavior changes.
Right.
So they always throw out these figures, but it doesn't happen. But go do it. Have the guts, not just to vote in the socialist personality, enact the socialist policies, which include massive tax rates. And remember, the spending in the United States has increased almost 50% in 5 years. It's done nothing.
Right.
People aren't happy.
Right.
They still want more.
Well, nothing is free.
So you've got to double or triple all the taxes in New York City and Seattle to get what you want. Do it. Have the guts not just to vote in the imagery. Do the substance of it, Seattle and New York. Do it.
Yeah,
and if you're
the
not,
voters should walk the walk.
Right. Voters, you walk the walk. You put in a socialist, pay for the socialism.
Not just the billionaires and the corporations either.
Yeah.
You should be willing to pay much higher taxes and prices for everything.
Remember, though, they only vote the socialism if they don't get taxed for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean ignorant socialism?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah.
You know, the socialism thing sounds interesting. No one owns the building you live in, so you wouldn't have a landlord. The government would be your landlord. And they can hear you right now. Yeah.
I love
free daycare. The government would be watching your children.
I just love it. I mean, but that's the only point. There's nothing we can do about the elections now. I wish Mamdani didn't win, and I wish the socialist mayor in Seattle. But they made their choice. So you made the choice. Don't have it just be imagery. Do the substance of it and pay for your socialism. See where it gets you.
By the way, I think you could combine some ideas here. So the free daycare thing, let's put those kids to work for the city. Okay, reasonable age, 3 years and up. Collecting trash, right? Directing traffic at construction sites, that kind of thing. Taking phone calls at City Hall, all that. Have them work for it. It's for the greater good of the people. Man, I love this. I love it. Put it into action. Let's see it work. Come on.
Right. Now, see, we compliment, for example, the Democrats, the DNC, for unionizing, for allowing their staffers to be unionized.
Yay!
It was great for them to do that. They did the imagery. Now, nobody is happy with the substance of it now that the DNC has told the union, you got to come in and work here. We have a midterm election to do. No, we want to work from home. No, we're not going to allow that anymore. Wah, we don't like the reality.
They have to get out of their pajamas a couple times a week. You kidding me? And what's rich about that, the irony, is that if they were to go on strike, that would mean they would actually have to go to the office to be on strike, to picket, or they'll just do a sick out.
Well, just
they'll do the lazy strike like they did at Starbucks, where they just sat around and had coffee and didn't work. We're doing a sick out. We just won't show up. Please make that happen. Please, DNC workers, fight for your rights.
Yeah, strike, and preferably in July of next year, because you always strike when the man is most vulnerable, because the DNC is now the man.
That's right.
And those staffers work for the man.
Even though it's wrong to define a man, that's who they are.
Right. Can you define the man?
You can't define a man, but you can define the man.
The man, right.
All right.
And so that's what we want. We want the DNC, you joined a union, the DNC staffers, you joined a union for a reason. And that's to get what you want. You're not getting what you want, strike. And strike when the man is most vulnerable next July. And we're sure the Democrats will follow us on all this. And for the people of Seattle and New York State, raise the hell out of your taxes to support your socialist nirvana. You elected them. Now stop with the imagery and get to the substance of socialism. Enact everything that Mamdani wants and what Wilson wants in Seattle. And Eric and I really are interested in the communal properties in Seattle. Go for the communal properties big time.
Yeah.
We like that. We like that one. That was
that
was a little bit of a different twist.
Now, you won't have much space, enough space. So some people are going to have to bunk together. Ready? Go.
I'll never forget guy, and you know who he is, a guy who I got into radio at a very young age. And then he got out of radio and in his 20s and went to Berkeley. Not urban renewal. Was it? Oh, I forgot what you called the course. But how to set up cities.
Okay.
And he visited me. He visited me because he came in town to see Bruce Springsteen, and he dragged me to see Bruce Springsteen. And then he was telling me that we have society set up wrong. Nobody should own a home. Everybody should live in apartments in a communal setting where everybody has a communal yard. Nobody would need cars. We could all ride our bicycles.
Yeah.
And my last words to him were, when I dropped him off at the airport, "Get out of my car, you communist." True story. Get out of my car, you communist. But he was serious. That's how he was brainwashed.
Right.
Well,
Right.
do it then. Do it.
Go ahead.
Force the people. Get rid of private property. People of Seattle, give up your homes. Corporations become, well, not nationalized, become Washingtonized. Municipalized. Right. Do it.
Yeah.
You elected it. Do it.
I'm sure it's going to go well.
All right, this was fun. Maybe irritating for some of the socialists out there, but it was fun for us.
Mm-hmm.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
We're Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. So please do it, especially Seattle, since you've gone socialist now. Do the communal property thing that your mayor-elect wants.
Let's get it going.
I want this communal property
We all
thing.
want to watch. I bought a lot of popcorn for this. A lot.
And we can compare East Coast socialism to West Coast.
Oh,
East Coast,
yeah.
West Coast.
No, it's a great point.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.